Very, very much looking forward to more information coming out about the Avatar goggles and the DJ. I mean, I think it's going to be a while before we have the full picture of what's going on with the DJI system, the Caddx, etc. I really thought we had it mostly figured out. And I say that like it's very difficult to explain to you guys what it means when we get a source that we can't share. By we, I mean mostly me and Blunty, but I've also been talking to Chris Rosser and Madstech, who have been digging into this problem, this question. It's really difficult because, like, obviously I don't want to just share a random, made-up, unreliable piece of information that just to get clicks, despite the fact that some may feel that, you know, YouTubers just release stuff, you know, fake news and so forth. At the same time, if I only released 100% verified official statements, then I wouldn't be providing any extra value. So it's difficult to walk that line. And like a lot of the times, the people who are leaking this information are people with business ties to the companies in question. And therefore, the reason they want the information to stay private is that they don't want to jeopardize their business relationship with the companies in question. So when a person comes and says, look, I was doing some kind of business deal with company X, and as part of that deal, we discussed this aspect of the product, and I want to tell you that. Like that to me, if I know that person and I know they are who they say they are, and I believe that they're just not just like making this stuff up because, like, you know, for whatever reason, then I'll share that information. Sometimes that information turns out to be wrong or incomplete, and it's really tricky. I say that I'm thinking about this right now because I thought we had a pretty complete picture of the whole DJI walk snail thing, Caddx, walk snail, etc., Fat Shark, Avatar, yada. I thought we had mostly got it figured out. And then I asked Caddx for a statement, and they said everything's fine with DJI, and they're going to keep giving us the V2 goggles. And I reported a leak from someone who was in a meeting with someone at DJI, and that person said that the V2 goggles were ending. And those two pieces of information are completely contradictory. They cannot both be true. And I'm like, oh, well, shoot. I thought we pretty much had it figured out. But now, I mean, Caddx has been so consistent in their messaging that Caddx has said, we will keep making the Vista. And I'm like, I don't think you ever made the Vista. DJI. And Caddx is like, no, we make the Vista. We're going to keep making it. I'm like, well, do they make the Vista? What am I missing here? There's something I'm missing. And then Caddx said the V2 goggles, yeah, no, DJI was going to cancel them. They sure would have told us. I was like, are you and DJI still talking? I thought they were like mad at you because of the whole Walksdale thing. Nah, we're good. And I'm like, well, shit. I don't know. Just do the best you can. Somebody reminded me. Even when you have official, on-the-record public statements from DJI, sometimes they turn out to be wrong. DJI is a big company, and a lot of times, if you're talking to one manager, they may tell you what they think is true, and it may turn out that, oh, you know, some other department makes a different decision, and that information is invalid. An example of this is what happened with DJI Aeroscope. There was a question of whether the DJI Aeroscope transmissions were encrypted or not. And those transmissions, if unencrypted, could let third parties know the location of DJI drones. And of course, this was all in the context of the conflict in Ukraine. And a DJI manager, high up, I don't know his exact position, I'm sorry, I don't remember at this moment, but a high up person in the USA at DJI said, I have checked with the engineering team, they are encrypted. And then after some pressure, it came out that no, they weren't encrypted. And I 100% believe that this guy was telling the full truth as he believed it, and he just wasn't being given the full story by DJI back in China. And my point is that if official word from DJI isn't 100% reliable, then you got to take leaks with a grain of salt. But I'm still going to tell you the leaks.